And here we are again. We are back over at the large ship that we left off last episode, that we finally managed to find where the flight seat was. It was on the top, in the middle of nowhere, just out in the open. Why? I don't know. I don't know who worked on that design, but it is what it is. Um, so, when I was uploading videos, I realized that my episode 4, the one I made after the debacle of the hard to upload video, was actually not uploaded yet. For some reason it was stuck at uploading 100% on YouTube and never managed to actually get posted. So I had to repost it. I don't know why that happened behind the scenes. YouTube still feels a little bit like a all over the place for me, as like, someone with not that much experience into this sort of thing. So yeah, that kinda sucked. But I think I managed to get it to work, and it's uploaded in the playlist in the correct order, I believe. Had to look for how to do that, how to move over playlists, but it seems to work now. Um, so what like I've alluded to last episode, I'm going to try to make the episode shorter and more to the point, because this game can be very open-ended and all over the place. And what I'm going to do is try to keep every episode specific to a goal, a small goal. So last episode, what we did is try to take over the big broken ship, and now we're gonna go for the big ship unexplored. And hopefully, I can make these ship parts combined in one ship, big ship. That's the goal of all of this. We'll figure it out if it works. Um, but that's at least what we're gonna plan to do. Now, I've already looked at that ship, and to actually get that ship into orbit, we need more thrusters, and we probably need to attach an entire engine part to it. How we're gonna do this? Don't know yet. We'll get to that. Don't know when, but we're gonna get to that. For now, at least. We're gonna make ourselves over to the big ship unexplored and see if we can get into it. Maybe even the tower, if we have some time left. But judging by how long it already took me last time to take over, this might take a while. Alright, let's just look at this unknown signal. Can we get something fun? A crocodile drill. How nice. Broadcast control. I don't think I can make those. No. Oh, alright. Let's take over this grid and steal that. Yep. Let's see if there's anything in. Oh, so steal a little bit. You know, that's fine. Oh wait, we don't actually need this. We can just grind this. We'll take the broadcast controller, and we'll take the battery. And I see there's a hydrogen thruster on the bottom. Oh, can you get out of there? Thank you. Alright, let's bring this with. And let's bring this with. That's a parachute hatch, probably. Yep. That's a button. Mm-hmm. No, it's still attached. Okay. Now it isn't. Come here. Extra hydrogen thrusters. Always good. Let's see if we can attach this stuff. That's one. That's two. And that's three. Alright. Let's me refill everything. I don't think this is hydrogen. No. So we should probably go back to base and reattach the O2H2. But I think it's fine. I think if we just unalive ourselves, as the cool kids say these days, because apparently YouTube turned into a group of pansies that don't like certain words anymore. We'll just say unalive ourselves, and then we will have full hydrogen again. So our ship over there is a nice one. It is very broken, but I think I will be able to transport it once I find a good atmospheric thruster vehicle. At least large grid atmospheric thruster vehicle. The problem is only that it's an orbit ship. It's perhaps good to move around with in 0 Gs without atmosphere. Just because of the ion thrusters and the hydrogen thrusters, it will probably not produce enough lift to get anywhere on this planet. Usually you want an atmospheric flight vehicle. Oh, I was not pressing the forward button. Smart pants. So normally you want to have atmospheric thrusters to do all the work, or at least most of the work, and then hydrogen thrusters in case something goes wrong, or you want some more movement speed, or you want to brake faster. But you want to do pretty much everything on a planet with atmospheric thrusters, just because you can just recharge them with the batteries. You don't need to mine ice for any resources or whatever, and they're much stronger in atmosphere than ion thrusters. So just because of that, I really want to find something with big atmospheric thrusters. So far we have only found small grid, large atmospheric thrusters. Who knows, maybe we'll get a little bit more lucky later down the line, but we'll figure that one out when we get there. I don't think this big ship chunk is a large grid atmospheric thruster. It looked like it had hydrogen thrusters, so we'll see how close we can get. That was also a big ship chunk. We just don't have much to move stuff around, so I think we'll get to a point where we have to use hydrogen thrusters anyway. Like, we just don't have the opportunity, because as I've stated in the rules of this challenge, we can't build a whole lot of functional blocks. So when it comes to hydrogen thrusters, atmospheric thrusters, batteries, hydrogen tanks, we have to move everything instead of building it ourselves. Alright, let's just park right here.
Fuel critical.
Yeah, fuel critical. I know. Alright, I don't have any good tools on me, so let's just get over there. We're probably gonna get shot, and then we're gonna respawn, and then we have some hydrogen. There's some stuff on the ground. Did this already... Oh, no, that's still attached. Okay. Let's see what this big ship chunk has in store for us. Now, I believe it was completely surrounded with guns. There was also... Yeah. We'll just see how far we can go by bobbing and weaving. I'm making it remarkably far, actually. I'm making it very far like this. How am I doing this? Ah, damn, that jump scared me. Alright, I actually got him 200 meters. Alright, let's fly past my body location. Yeah. Ooh, there's 2 guns now. Ooh. Alright. Here we go. Well, it already has blast door edges for its structural integrity, so this thing is probably chock full of materials. Oh, there's a big gun. Let's fly in a bit closer. Alright. Well, this part is, of course, very damaged, but it seems like there's a good chunk of it that looks fairly undamaged. So let's see if we can get closer. Let's just take out this gun first. Now, the good thing about Gatling guns is that if you're very close to them, they won't shoot you. They just do this jiggle motion for some reason. I don't know why, but you can just grind them up when you're next to them. It's just getting to them without any other gun shooting at you is the hard part. And this one's mine now. There we go. Oh, yeah. So there's a gun on this. Well, that scared the crap out of me. I don't do good with jump scares. My whole body jolts every time. Ooh. I guess it was that one that shot at me. Ooh. If I can land on it, it can't shoot me. Yeah. Let's just hope there's nothing to my left that is gonna shoot at me. Now the 2 on the other side are gonna be much harder to do this with, because they will look at each other. So the moment you try to grind up one, the other one shoots at you. So we're not gonna be able to quickly do that in the same manner that we did this. I think there's a door there. Ooh. Okay. That one is ours. If I can get closer to that one, I take it over. I have not really looked at... I've had an opportunity to look at what materials are in this ship. But I kinda want to get in somehow. These are thrusters. No doors. Let's see if I can get there. Okay. Alright. So far so good. Oh my god. Having a Gatling gun looking at you like this is you know that only takes 1 bullet to kill me. Because usually when you're this close, they will shoot just insta in your head and you just die. Oh, you unalive. I'm sorry. Forgot about that one. Alright, there's a big hydrogen thruster on the back side, which is already a good indication that this ship might be used for what we're gonna do with it. Can I stand there? No. Can I grind it from the top? Because I don't have infinite. Yep, there we go. With this we can also see what the interior of the ship is. How many interior turrets are there? How many Gatling turrets are there? We know there's 2 types of Gatling guns on the other side of the ship. Alright, we don't need to fix it completely. Let's just get in. Not dead yet. Alright, let's check what is inside this ship. So, turrets. There's one interior turret, and there's 2 Gatling guns that we haven't taken over. Those are the ones on the left side. Then we just have to be careful about this one. We don't know where it is. No hidden blocks? No, no hidden blocks. Right, let's see for the rest. So it has assemblers. Does it still have them intact? No. Oh, it does. There's 2 assemblers. That's good. Refineries. There's 2 basic refineries. Alright, so far okay. How many batteries? No batteries. Reactors. 1 large reactor. Large reactor. Okay. Well, that's good. That's a lot of reactor components. Thrusters. Industrial hydrogen thrusters. And 1 large hydrogen thruster. Oh, and 3 industrial large hydrogen thrusters. This is probably already going to be a majority of the thrust that we're going to need for our ship. Now it's just looking out for where that industrial or that interior turret is. So there's a large area here that we have no overview over. A control seat. Maybe this is the thing that will... I didn't even check control seats or flight seats. But if this is the thing that takes the entire ship over, I would be very, very happy. There we go. That was already enough. Okay. Let's sit down and take over all the turrets and turn them off. All turrets off, including this little interior turret. Okay, all thrusters off. Yep. So there's only hydrogen thrusters, nothing else. That's at least a little bit simple. So the small reactor we'll leave on for a little bit, but there's no batteries, which would, if it runs out of fuel, then the entire ship powers down. That's gonna be quite annoying. These are not set up. How do we get to that part? This is just this. There's no way to get to the other parts of this ship. This is the entire ship. Alright, that's a bit interesting. Right, now that we've taken over the ship, let's look around. So what do we have in the back? In the back we have...
Fuel low.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Fuel critical.
So let's explore the inside of the ship a little bit. So it's clear that what blew up was probably the most important parts of what it was. There was probably a large hydrogen thruster here looking at the shape of this. There's probably like one looking down here. Maybe one looking down here as well. The bowels of the ship also look like they had maybe some large cargo space inside of it. Maybe some more refineries or assemblers. O2H2 generators. But as far as I can see, this looks like a mildly fine hunk of ship. Especially this back part of the ship. This part with 3 thrusters is exactly what we need at the backside of our larger ship that is missing the backside. If we had this on our bigger ship, we would have a lot of thrust to move around, especially when we're getting to atmosphere, but also when we try to lift up from the ground. To have one extra large hydrogen thruster would be very nice to actually escape atmosphere. And for the rest, what else do we have on this ship? This was the front part that we arrived at. Yeah, it seems like the structural integrity of this ship is very much hooked up to those large rows of shielded doors. What are they called? Blast doors? Yeah, blast door edges. Is this blast doors? Wow, this ship has a lot of steel plates. So yeah, it's a mildly fine piece. I think so far, if we look at the big ship that we have so far, especially this backside part, that this whole chunk here, if we can attach this to the backside of our other ship, we would be set for forwards thrust on our big ship. The only problem is getting it there. Alright. Well, that was it was not that covered with guns. And the guns it hit. Whew. The guns it did have were at least reachable, and not many guns were looking at each other, making it quite simple to explore the ship. So, one thing I am going to do is that tower over there. We're going to take that over as much as we can. I know there's guns on two sides of the tower, which means that if I just hug the tower on one of the sides that doesn't have guns, technically I would be able to approach it. Now this is technically, because this means that you have to fly at it with a large amount of speed and stop directly at it, because you usually bounce a little bit when you fly it against something. And if I do that, I will probably still die. Let's also change the big ship unexplored from red to green, because that's now discovered for us. Do we actually have any more GPS coordinates that we can... There was another wreck that we found a long time ago that we can still approach. This one is still important, but I don't think we can move that right now. So we'll just... I could have gone to that unknown signal, but it's fine. It was a kilometer walk from the broken ship anyway. Let's just first restock a little bit. The only issue is that I didn't hook up my O2H2 generator, so I don't have any way of restocking my hydrogen when I'm out in the open, even though there's ice everywhere. If I find an O2H2 generator at a wreck, then I will just hook it up. But for now, let's just recharge, get my health back up. And let's first go to this little Scrappy over here. I already took this over, but just to see what it was again. Because it's been a few hours since I've been here. And since I already took it over, I don't think any guns are going to shoot at me. Yeah, it's green, so I took it over. I just don't remember what it was. It's very on fire, at least. Oh, yeah, yeah. I think this was the one with the large amount of yield modules. Yeah. This is gonna be like the most important industrial part of the entire ship. Like, this is such a small part of the ship that it's gonna be, but to have this part just in its entirety, just dropped in the middle of the ship. Then these ion thrusters we're probably gonna remove. Those lights we're gonna remove. The antenna we're gonna remove. And we're probably only gonna move these large refineries with yields. If we could just move that into a new ship, that would be great. This is probably not hooked up to O2H2 generators, right? Let's see. Block is not powered. Oh, yeah. We have to turn one of the reactors on for that. Do I get H2 from this? Nope.
Fuel critical.
Yeah, I know. Alright, let's turn the reactor off then. If it doesn't give me O2H2 or H2. Let's bring these back with me as well. We're only gonna need those components later on. Alright. Well, it's good to have at least a little bit of a view of what it was again. Just so in my mind I know sort of what its yields are. Now, this tower, I don't know what useful parts are on it. What we're gonna work on, okay, let's see. I said that in Dutch. I think it's this one. Yes. I like that the GPS coordinates is a kilometer away, but for some reason the red icon is that close. I believe this was the location without the guns.
Fuel critical.
I know. Let's just jump into it. Maybe I can even land on the top. I don't know. I barely know what that thing on the top is, so. Like some connectors maybe? Like connectors on all sides. Right, when are the guns gonna appear? Come on. Shoot at me. Shoot at me. Do it. Yep, here we go. And
Health low.
I know.
Health critical.
I know. Alright. Well, it is at least doable if I land on top of the antennae. The problem is just that that's where also the gun is. So let's try this again. But this time flying. Ow. That's a large glass structure. So there's only one Gatling gun on that side. If I can make it to the foot on that side, I should be fine. But if I overshoot it, there's 3 guns that are gonna shoot at me. Ow. We will make this. I can even shoot for the glass structure on the middle. Let's try that for fun. Just to see if I can manage that. There's like some glass opening here. Ooh. Oh no.
Your health is critical.
Yeah. See, there's some glass broken in the top. Let's try this again. There's already 4 bodies. Lots of death later. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, there's guns on the inside? No. Oh god, please don't tell me there's guns on the inside. That would make this almost impossible. There's one way I can do this. Don't know why they're all shooting at me now. They weren't doing that before.
Your health is low. Fuel low.
Well, here we go. Death.
Fuel.
There's not an entrance at the bottom. That's gonna make this a lot harder as well. Alright, game plan. Let's try to fly into the glass again. If they don't shoot at me with all of them at the same time. Okay. I almost made it in. Oh no. There's some glass on some of the floors that seem to be semi broken. I just don't get why they sometimes shoot all of them and sometimes they don't. Is it because of the angle that I fly at? Whee! Let's try it again. Well, alright. That's the first time we've landed on top of the tower without dying immediately. So, heavy armor. Okay. What we're gonna do is just see if we can get down a little bit. We don't need this. The thing is that I can't build it, so it might be better to just keep it intact. So let's just keep it intact. Just dump all the component. Yeah, that's what the problem I thought I would have. Just dump the components in other parts.
Inventory full. Inventory
As far as we're gonna have that message the entire time. Let's have the heavy armor block, just so we can dump the materials in there. There we go. Let's have a corner here. Damn. Come on, work with me. Let's dig our way through here.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
Damn you, inventory. I mean, to be fair, it's a lot of steel plates.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
Okay. If we go here, I'll probably be on the outside. But I don't know if I destroy this connector, if the entire part will fall down. Okay, that seems to go there.
Inventory full.
Hmm. Okay, this is all the way down the tower. No, I can rebuild this, so I'd rather take this path. Sad about the connectors on all sides here, but it's fine. Now, is this the inside of where I
Inventory full.
got the first time?
Inventory
Yeah.
Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory
I
full.
swear to God.
Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory
Excuses
full. Inventory
about
full.
the sounds here.
Inventory full.
Lots of nice construction components.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
That's very broken.
Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full.
Okay. I think I hear some
Inventory full.
components
Inventory
moving
full.
around.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
Right.
Inventory full.
There's a
Inventory full.
gun there.
Inventory full. Inventory
I
full.
cannot hit it.
Inventory full.
Wait,
Inventory full.
can I access its inventory? No.
Inventory full.
Alright, let's just drop it then.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
My
Inventory
God.
full. Inventory full.
It's one. There was a gun on all sides. Alright, let me just would have loved if I actually accidentally dropped my
Energy
grinder.
low.
Energy low is a bit of an issue though. I hope I have enough energy to remove all of these
Inventory
blocks.
full. Inventory full.
All these metal grids are lovely. So this base here might not be that interesting to do with like anything else but recharging my station.
Inventory full.
But it could be interesting to do when it comes to the metal grids that I can get from it. So I've removed
Energy
this.
critical. Inventory full.
There we go. Okay, there's 4 flight seat. No, 3. One of them is broken. So I think I removed all the guns. Can the guns on the outside see me? Don't think so.
Inventory
Alright, quickly let's
full.
take one of these stations
Inventory
over.
full.
Maybe I have enough power
Inventory
to do
full.
this.
Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full.
Oh, just about. Alright, so this is what the tower looks like. It is not that interesting, and what I thought was indeed correct, there's 4 connectors on the sides, or at least there were, but they're only for guns. So this looked to be like just a communications relay. Let's see what we have. We have some control stations. We're going to take this over, and that might already be enough to take over the entire ship. There is a whole laundry list of guns. How many batteries? There's 3 batteries. Reactors? No reactors. Windmill? No windmills. Alright. How does this thing get its power then? How does it get its power? Turrets, 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 timer blocks, air vents, antenna, decoys, lights, medical room, that's good. O2H2 generator, Small cargoes and spotlights. That's it. No power generation. Alright, that's interesting. Alright, let's take over the tower.
Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory
What we're probably gonna
full.
do is later on hook up some
Inventory
windmills to the
full.
sides of this.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
There we go. And then we probably have to destroy this one.
Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full.
And then we have to destroy the medical room. Um, wow. Sure hope those turrets on the outside can shoot in. Hope also that there's no more interior turrets on the inside. Mm-hmm. Just hear the soft moving of the guns moving from left to right. Quite dangerous exploration, this one. Would you look at that? There's another control seat with a gun directly above it. Alright, alright. Let's try this again. From the top again. We at least have a method to go inside now.
Health critical.
I know. But it's fine. The red screen is a bit annoying though, so let's sit down. Maybe we can recharge at least our health beef, like to get past the redness of our screen. Oh, that's gonna take forever. Let's do one thing though in the meantime, and that is take over this small cargo container. Just so we can get all the good stuff that I've dropped around here into there. Especially these metal
Inventory
grids.
full.
Mm-hmm.
Inventory full.
Inventory full. Timer blocks. Sure. I can't make these, I believe, so having some is always nice, large grid. Especially when you're making like doors that need to open or something like that. Right, what else? We have some construction components. More metal grids. Do we have any stuff up here? Yep.
Inventory
Tons of items. Right, let's take one more look, because I believe all the interior turrets are actually on the interior with this one. Let's see, how many interior turrets are left? That is a whole lot of interior turrets. Are there indeed all? No, there's one over there on the sides. So let's see if I can count them. So there's one up there to the right. And we have 3 over there. So there's 4 on the outside of this building. And there were 2 left then on the inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's probably 3 in the downstairs department, as there's 4 up there. That is annoying. Because it takes quite a while to get down there. I at least know that the walk down to where that body location is safe. And we know that the guns are attached to the ceiling. Or the wall that's behind it. Okay. So don't drop down again. There it is. Is there one on the other side as well? It's now right above me, or below me. Right there. There's the medical room. And there's also a part where you can go downstairs. But I think if I take over that control seat, this tower will be mine. So let's just force ourselves through. Okay. If I destroy this conveyor, I might be able to... let's just dump these somewhere. No blocks that I can dump them into. Oh, nice. Alright. Well, I mean over there, but then I get shot. Alright, let's just dump them on the floor here then. Okay. Don't you dare. Goodbye. Screw you, turret. Any other guns anywhere? Let's quickly take this over before we get any more surprises. Hopefully this is enough together with the medical room. That is it. Yeah, they shot at the gun that I let drop on the floor. Now I know why that happens. There we go. Beautiful. Alright. That's still quite far up, so no wonder I couldn't find an entrance when I walked around it. And then probably in the bottom here is where the batteries are. Yep. This is the O2H2 generator, but no power. No any type of power generation. Interesting. How long will these batteries last then? Fully depleted in 6 days. Alright, let me turn off all the turrets and see what happens when I do that. Turrets. Wait, did it have a group of turrets? No. Just collect all the turrets and turn them all off. Alright, now, how long do the batteries last? 17 days. Alright. That seems like it would be rechargeable with a single windmill. Is there anything worth in the cargo? No. Alright. Alright, this tower is now taken over as well. So, large tower with guns is now green. And we're gonna turn this into large tower refueling station. It's not yet done, but we'll be able to fix this later on. And if we have vehicles that work only on power, then we can just use this to refuel. Or recharge. I should call it recharge. It's not really refueling, since we're not using fuel. Charging. Okay. The tower is in a bit of a disrepair, but I don't really care about that. If I need guns, I can just strip them off this tower as well. All those connectors for all the guns that are connected to the sides. Crazy. We still have even some power to fly back to our rover. Alright, so our rover should be there, I think. Yep. Let's go. There's one way to fly faster or further without using the same amount of energy. Just make yourself fly up in an arc and then turn it off. And then just leave some power for when you have to get close. Beautiful. So, now we have set up the ship over there with all the thrusters that we're going to use. We have taken over the large tower. We also went back and checked the refinery with the yield module ship over there. And we have set up at least most of what we were going to do this time. Next video is probably going to be a lot focused on building a transporter vehicle, but only a small one. Usually in this, what you need is one large one to move over large chunks of ships. Like a large grid atmospheric thruster. Okay, we're gonna go for that little unknown signal. That could be a tier 2 or tier 3 grinder tool or welder in there, which would be lovely. But you also need a small grid atmospheric thruster vehicle just to move stuff in position. So we're gonna make that next episode. Come here, you little shit. Whee! Almost. Let's see if it's one that flies away. My God, you're doing this slow. Today, Junior. Even if it's the one that rolls away. No, you're not. There we go. Come with me. Come with me now. Is that another broadcast controller? Yep. Alright. Let's grind this thing down. It even has a welder block. Or a small merge block. How nice. Little curved controller. This is nickel and freaking iron. We already got a broadcast controller for small grids, so I don't think we're gonna need another one. And let's just take the battery apart. And that's everything that's useful out of this. Goodbye. So, you know, out of all the things that I thought I could get out of it, a little bit of nickel and iron was not really what I had in mind. You know, I was thinking about like maybe like a level 3 welder, or maybe even some metal grids, or some power cells, but I guess that's what we have to make do with. A bit sad. Now, I don't know yet if we have enough atmospheric thrusters to really make a vehicle that can move stuff around. Um, Next episode, I will start with an inventorization of all the all the atmospheric thruster components we have. And I will probably also pick up a vehicle that I found in maybe episode 1 or 2, which was a vehicle that has a lot of hydrogen thrusters. And one thing I could do is make a half and half ship, one that works on atmospheric thrusters and hydrogen thrusters. Because, I mean, we live on an ice planet. It's not like we have an underabundance of ice, because we're literally driving on it. But still, it might be useful to build it that way, just to make sure that we can move stuff around. We have found a lot of small grid hydrogen thrusters. So it might be that that's what we're gonna work with, just to make sure that we can at least move stuff around, because at the moment we, if we want to make stuff successfully attached to each other, we really need to start moving stuff around. And for that we just need to get a small grid builder first. So that's at least what we're going to work with on the next episode. I don't know how much small grid hydrogen tanks we have, but we'll work on that as well. Alright. So, also, this was the beginning of last episode. This was before I activated the recording. Sometimes when there is auto repair buildings, like the ones I built last time, this block, when you have this hooked up, you might hear a ticking sound in the background. I'm sorry if I don't always catch it. It is this machine that has materials that it can repair, but it doesn't have the components to repair it. So it will have like a block that is like half broken, and it wants to repair it, but due to not having the correct components, it will not be able to repair it. That will make this constant ticking sound. I'm not sure if you will hear it this time, because I turned it off, and it will not have the most amount of components now. So it started repairing a little bit. But at a certain point it will stop, because it doesn't have the right components anymore. We'll start trying to build this as well, probably. The refineries are a little bit busy. There's probably some scrap metal. So let's look through here. Well, let's hook this up at least. I just don't know if the auto repair system has already taken over all the materials that I need to make it. So let's just turn it off real quick, just so I can merge. There we go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hook up the O2H2 generator. Ooh, what was this? Oxygen tank? Oh, this is just a cargo container. Well, that's sadness. Is it still fixed? Yeah. Alright, let's turn this thing into a nice looking view. And still has some ice in it. That's fine. Then we need some blocks. Let's make them ourselves, you know. Can't be lazy for... we can't be lazy forever. Let's pull this up. Now there's also one other thing that we can do. It flew by really fast, one of the previous episodes, maybe the last one or the one before it. A little distance away from us, there is a UNKN logistics building place. This is a vanilla encounter and the first one so far of this playthrough. Usually the Scrapyard buildings take precedence because they spawn so quickly. So the vanilla encounters don't have the time to spawn in that quickly. We might do that first. Let's first check though if I can recharge my O2H2. Yes! That's good, that's good. I can probably only check the inventory of this through here. Let me disconnect it and rename most of this to Rover. Let's see. So let's call... there we go. Let's just call it Rover. Let's just put this in front of everything that is important to the rover. Just so I can keep stuff apart. Don't know why that is hidden. Scrap beacon. Survival kit. We don't need that part of it. And the warfare battery. Yeah, it's fine. We don't need all these offset spotlights and stuff. We can put these on hide as well. Those don't all need to show up. So let's call this as well. That was what I was going for. Hide empty. So there's still some ice. It seems to be still fine. That's okay. Good. Then we at least made this. So next time I believe that UNKN outpost is over this mountain somewhere. Now I don't have a map or anything. Would be lovely to have a map of some sorts. But I think it's over this mountain. I'll take a quick glance. Just a quick peek if I was correct about that. Because when I was searching for some scrap on these mountains, a little bit more to the right over there, I got a message of a UNKN logistics outpost. We might be able to travel around, but this vehicle, I trust that it will at least semi-occasionally drive well over these mountains. Like, if there's one vehicle that I trust this with the most, it is this. And then I destroy it right now. There we go. Now, I was clenching my butthole. I thought I was gonna lose this vehicle. Yeah, there it is. Alright. So it's 7 kilometers on the other side of this. I might be able to travel around it because that part does look a little bit harder to travel past. So next episode, we're quickly going to see what that is all about. So we're gonna quickly travel towards that large UNKN logistics part. Oh, so why is my helmet open? What button was that again? Don't know really. It's fine. But at least next episode, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go towards that UNKN logistics outpost to try and see if there's anything useful in there, and then we're gonna make the inventorization of our atmospheric thrusters and hydrogen thruster parts, and maybe also connect or collect that other broken hydrogen thruster miner vehicle that we found in episode 2. And for the rest, I think that's it for this episode. So if you enjoyed watching, then I will see you maybe in the next episode. Alright, have a good one.